Everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm always so happy to find you here. I do upload on every Thursday. So when you subscribe, you will get an alert uh, notification that I have uploaded new content for your view and my pleasure. I enjoy it because I feel like I connect. Anyone who's watching my channel, who's tuned into my channel, who understand my intention, I feel that I connect with them. So, but that's just me. I am a earth person. I just hope I'm right. Anyway, hope you love and vibrate on the backdrop that I chose for us today, because I want to talk about this topic. I'd like to discuss cross-sectionality and understanding, or at least being open to the understanding that someone may not understand you, and being okay with that. Because I often think therein is a struggle. We want to call it communication, lack of communication. Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. The workplace, they misread that email and she didn't understand that text, and all of that. You see, all of that blocks flow. When I think of cross-sectionality, I often want for us, all of us, you and I, make us. You and me make we. I'm in partnership with you. I don't exist in my greatest form without you. I exist in my greatest form as I, not as we. I can't, because I don't have you, okay? So when I talk about cross-sectionality, I'm wanting us to embrace more of what we don't know that person doesn't know. So we don't know what we don't know. Let me give some plain examples as to what I'm referring to. I'll give a couple that actually happened. Years ago, I was a teenager. I'll never forget this guy I'm dating named Tony. Tony man. And I guess you would call it class-wise, economic class-wise. Their family was here, mine was kind of here. They were higher class economically than we were. But behavior-wise, etiquette-wise, mannerism-wise, I was here and he was there. So we were like that. I remember going to his house one day and they were having a welcome dinner for a woman that was moving from one country to come and stay with them. His mother had died when he was younger, so it was his father's prospective bride. And they were having Mexican food, and she had never had Mexican food. And I guess it was, she had never had Mexican food before, but they had served it to her before I had gone there that particular day. And we were sitting at the table and him and his sisters were saying, Sheri, watch her eat her taco. It's so funny the way she eats a taco. Watch her eat her taco. And they were making fun at her for not understanding that when we eat a taco, we eat it from like a corn on the cob, we have it from the side and we just work our way over. She was plowing into it and she was digging the food out of it. And they were laughing at her. Even at 16, 17 years old, that was bothersome to me. And because I felt they were belittling her. She's an adult. And I told him when he took me home that night, I told him how I felt about that mistreatment of an adult, and that I didn't find it funny. This is what I mean by cross-sectional. She didn't know the custom of a taco. And to make fun of her and to not show her was belittling. I'll give you another example. Now I'm an adult. I'm about 20, early 20s. Ah, you thought I was still early 20s. I'm just kidding. I was early 20s and I was at work, and we had put together something for Black History Month, and we were doing like a choir, and we had a choir and we had African garb, and we had, the men had the vest, the women had the men had the crown, the women had the headpiece. It was all for Black history. And I was in the choir. And we were at choir rehearsal, preparing for this event to put on at the company. And two of my friends came to me and they're like, Sheri, girl, you're not gonna believe that she had no idea who was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I said, what? And it was two of my good friends. And they were like, she had no idea. Can you believe it? Girl, we were cracking up. Wait till you see her. She said, what does that mean when we say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? And so I said, did you tell her? And they said, no, we're not gonna tell her. I said, why not? And they said, girl, it's too hilarious to tell her. They said, she ought to know what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And immediately I said, how would she know? You assume that she grew up in church. You assume that she knew the Bible. Now, I'm not always like, correcting people on principle. I'm not. But I just find that when you are belittling a person, she had no idea, and you're making fun of her, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and all of that. Why did you make this an opportunity to explain to her instead of laughing at her? This is what I mean when people do that. Belittling of a taco because it's not her custom. Belittling of biblical knowledge. She probably was, and come to find out, she wasn't raised in a church. Here we are doing something where we're in a choir where the harmony comes together. And you can't tell her what the verses of the song mean. That's you being mean. When we don't know that we don't know, it becomes our opportunity to help someone grow. When we don't know what we don't know, it becomes our opportunity to help someone grow and elevate up. This is why I say when a person does something belittling like that, or even more, that is disrespectful and dishonoring of you, you don't have to like what they did. No. But at least understand that it is coming from a traumatized place that making them behave that way. Why that person would do that. And not correct themselves. It has to do with a limited knowledge of what better to do. Now, if you just keep doing it just because, then that's who you are. Don't expect that person to change. Now you have to decide if you want to continue on the journey with them in your life or not. Or if you'll never say anything. Like I told Tony on the way home, I said, I don't expect you to treat an adult that way. He totally understood. He said, I didn't see it that way. We just thought it was funny the way she's eating the taco. I said, yeah, I can see that, but you saw it several times. You've given her Mexican food several times. I'm here to meet her, and you're still laughing at her. That means she's the butt of the joke. That's not okay. She's an adult. She's old enough to be our parent. Your father's dating her now. All of that. That's the part I mean when I talk about cross-sectionality. There is an inlet by my house that you have to know it's there to drive through it. And you better know how to drive through it, because it becomes a one-way, and you have to know to yield, because if you don't, there'll be a collision. People often use the inlet to avoid heavy traffic that's on the two major streets where the inlet is. I'm making this point on cross-sectionality regarding that inlet is because we have to find a time and a place to yield. We have to know that it's there for us as an opportunity to grow, to help a person understand. few of us get this. This opportunity doesn't come all the time, just like the inlet. The inlet is mostly used by those of us who live here. And we don't want nobody else to find out about it. We don't want to create more traffic. But if you don't know how to use the inlet, this is why people just kind of freeze. I could driving there, I could tell, okay, they don't know who has the right of way, and they didn't know, they got tangled up in here. On the other side of the inlet is what they call a diagonal. It was a street created, I believe in the 60s, my history told me years ago, by some engineers who wanted to design a unique street in the city. And it has what I call two letters in it. It has like an X and then a Y, like that. It goes like that and then like that. If you don't know how to drive that, there will be a collision. During heavy peak periods, well, it's going on the 4th of July here now. I don't know when I'll actually post this, but every major holiday, they put signs there, and they have patrol there, and they show a picture of a car that had an accident because people don't know how to use it. They think when they see the X, they're supposed to do what the Y says. They think when they see the Y, they're supposed to do what the X. I don't even drive through it. I go all the way around it. I know how to use it, but so many more don't. So it's not worth my headache. When I have friends that come out of town, our friends visiting me, I please say, don't even drive it. It's not you, it's the other person who doesn't know any better. So when we have these things, we have these opportunities to grow, expand in consciousness, be open-minded, be kind-hearted, be gentle and loving. Correct ourselves. Embrace our wrongs. Fix our own cross-sectionality so we can grow. All of that. When that happens, it is for us to rise above to the occasion, shine bright like a diamond, not be a school teacher all the time telling you what to do, how to do it, and where to go and where to do it, but to expand in our own so that when we do something like that, it's natural. It's natural. It's not rehearsed. It's becoming. It's becoming. And we've seen so much in our world that's so unbecoming that it's almost when you see something becoming, you go, oh, that's so refreshing. No, that should be so common. Less disliking people and more liking people. Less making the butt of the joke of a person and more embracing of a person. Less making them disappear out of your life and more calling them back like a recall. Oh, look at the beauty of that person I missed out on. Recall that. You made a mistake. Nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with the mistake when we make a mistake is the permanency that we put on it by our inability to rise above ourselves, to free ourselves of what's holding us up in the first place. And I love you with your beautiful self. Ooh, I love you. Bye. Bye. Cross-sectionality. Everybody embrace everybody. Bye, y'all.